Sports Center all night. Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars take on Zach Wilson and the Jets.
It will be picked off. It'll be intercepted. Running it back is Devin Lloyd now. He laterals it. Don't lateral it too much. This is Andre Cisco. He'll be tackled.
Which QBs can you expect to see this weekend?
There is not a play or throw on the field that he does not believe he cannot make.
We go bowling in Fort Worth.
On 2nd and goal. To Roberts, right side, puts his head down. Touchdown, Air Force. Brad Roberts doing what he does best. Goes in from 2 yards out.
Plus, the countdown to NBA on Christmas Day continues.
Conflicting strengths, but nonetheless, there's a convergence of superstars and greatness that will be on full display on Christmas Day.
This is Sports Center all night.
Dear Wonder Bread.
It's a wonder. Life is a wonder.
Here's Jim Basquill.
We get you set for the Eagles and Cowboys, and Trevor Bauer will be eligible to play next season. Welcome to Sports Center all night on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. We have the NBA, college hoops, and college football, but begin with kickoff Week 16 in the NFL. Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, top 2 picks in the 2021 draft on display. It's the Jaguars and Jets. Jacksonville having won 4 of 6 coming in. Trevor Lawrence leading the league in passer rating since Week 9. Doug Peterson's 6-0 career on Thursday Night Football, but it's the Jets D that strikes early.
Jets show blitz, now back off. They rush 4. Lawrence back to throw. Looks right. Under pressure. Here he goes down. The ball pops out. It's loose. The Jets may have it. Just like that, the Jets may have that takeaway they have been thirsting for. And who is in the backfield but Quinn and Williams to knock it out. And the Jets recover the fumble.
That's 98.7 ESPN New York. That led to an early field goal. The Jags, though, had it tied. Then went 16 plays, 96 yards, capped by this.
Trevor's going to be under center here. Here we go. From the half-yard line. ETN, the running back. Quarterback sneak dive for the end zone. Touchdown. He dove over the top. Then Trevor Lawrence. Touchdown, Jaguars.
As heard on 1010 XL 92.5 FM. That made it a 10-3 game. Jacksonville up top. They were up by 10 at the break at 13-3. Then their D struck second half.
4-man rush. Trevor drops the throw. Looking, fires left side. The ball's going to be caught. That'll be a first down. And now the ball's fumbled. And it is picked up by the Jaguars. They're running it back. How about that? The Jaguars, Trey Herndon. The ball was fumbled. He caught it in midair. And he has returned it for the Jaguars inside the 25-yard line.
Yeah, that was Trey Herndon getting it done with that fumble recovery. Trevor Lawrence, the touchdown run. Jaguars continue to push their playoffs spot, 3rd straight win, 19-3 over the Jets. Zach Wilson and the Jets on a rainy, windy night, and he received plenty of boos on this night. Lawrence, 20 of 31 for 229 through the air, ran for 51 in that score. Jacksonville would win the AFC South with victories in their final 2 games. Their coach, Doug Peterson, on his QB, Trevor Lawrence.
I thought his decision-making was good. I'd rather not see him take that hit at the end, throw it away a little sooner. But for the most part, I thought he did a nice job of controlling and managing what we asked him to do, and the weather was obviously a challenge with the wind and the rain. But, I thought he played tough again, played physical. And that was really, really good to see out of our quarterback.
Yeah, Bill Barnwell on SportsCenter with SVP on the Peterson impact on Lawrence and the Jags.
It's night and day, Scott. And you saw it in this game today. First drive of this game, right? Quinnen Williams comes in, having an awesome year. Such a great player. He absorbs Trevor Lawrence. He annihilates Trevor Lawrence. There's a strip sack on the first series of the game. You saw for the rest of this game, the Jaguars did all they could do to protect Trevor Lawrence, knowing, hey, we can't block that guy in the middle of the field. We saw jet sweep action to take the eyes away from the play. We saw throws to the flat, throws to quick game. We saw him throw for 198 yards on quick throws this year, or in this game, second most of any game in his career for Trevor Lawrence. And that's what you have to do. If you can't block a guy, you have to protect your quarterback, build the offense around getting the ball out, and that's what Doug Peterson did. He adapted in the middle of this game, something I don't think the Jaguars could have done last year with Urban Meyer as their coach.
A different story on the other side. The Jets have now lost 4 straight and starting 7 of 4. Wilson booed frequently, benched in the third quarter. He has the lowest completion percentage in the league this season. Robert Saleh on that second half benching.
It was more of we're just trying to get the run game going. And Strev had a couple of explosive plays, and it just one of those one thing led to another. He gave us a spark, and we just wanted to keep it going. So, it was meant to be a change up initially.
Yeah, more on that later in the show.
Is it Hurts or the team?
All it will provide is bulletin board material. Listen, this is all the smoke right here. Listen, and that's how football's supposed to be.
Do we have familiarity with, and they have familiarity with us?
I'm pretty sure they hate me.
Well, Michael Parsons, that may be the case, but at least you won't have to deal with Jalen Hurts. The Eagles quarterback won't play Saturday against Dallas because of that sprained right shoulder. Philadelphia will instead start Gardner Minshew. Hurts was injured on a tackle in Sunday's win at Chicago. Eagles have the best record in the league at 13-1, can clinch the NFC East and the number one seed in conference with a win against Dallas. Nick Sirianni, Philadelphia head coach, on Minshew under center.
Gardner will be our guy, and Gardner will be ready. Gardner worked his butt off for this opportunity against a really good football team, and had a great practice yesterday. I think you guys have all heard that. How good a practice he had yesterday. A lot of energy out there, and he's ready to go. He's so on it right now, and we feel really good at where he is and mentally, and that's just never an issue with Gardner. He's got to always go through that process of, might not get a lot of reps, but ready to go, because that's his job as a backup quarterback.
Yeah, to back that point, this guy has good numbers in the NFL as a player. 41 touchdown passes to just 12 interceptions. That's the third best ratio among active quarterbacks in the league. Tim McManus on QB2, who's now QB1 this week for Philly.
The Eagles go into the biggest game of the year without their MVP candidate and leader in Jalen Hurts, but a couple strong practices with Gardner Minshew under center has the group feeling confident. Tight end Dallas Goedert told me that if he was Minshew, he'd be licking his chops to be playing behind this offensive line and throwing to guys like Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown. Minshew can't disagree.
Yeah, he's really good, so it's nice. He gets open, catches the ball, so when you got those two things going for you, like quarterback friendly. So excited to get out there and work with him and all those guys, man. They all do different things really well, so it's gonna be a fun group.
Yeah, Philadelphia is talented across the board on both sides of the ball. They can clinch the 1 seed in the NFC with that victory on Saturday, seeking a franchise record 14th win. Twice in their franchise, they've won 13 games, and each time went to the Super Bowl. Dan Orlovsky, and what you should expect from QB1.
A little bit more of a gunslinger mentality. There is not a play or throw on the field that he does not believe he cannot make. It's a lot of fun to watch. He's got this freedom with his willingness to go play the football game. Seems to be a lot of fun. The creativity. Jalen, for this offense, very much so a designed runner. He's going to be a little bit more of like, oh my goodness, bad stuff's going to happen. Let me go run around and make a little bit of a play. He's got that athleticism, that Tony Romo type of game to him. And then put the ball in harm's way. There's a difference between that and carelessness or recklessness. But I mentioned it, like there's not going to be a throw in this game when he's like, I can make that one. So he will be more, I think that guy's going to be open and I could throw it to a spot where only he can get it type of mindset.
There, keep in mind, Philadelphia's won 9 straight road games. How about the importance for Dallas? Dak Prescott didn't play in that earlier loss against the Eagles week 6. Prescott 6-1 past 7 starts against Philly. Bart Scott, Damian Woody say the onus is on him to stay away from them picks and win this game.
It's a big problem. It's a big deal. And I think one of the things that you see from Dak, sometimes Dallas is such an explosive offense. You want to hit the big one. Mm-hmm. And I always said you can never go broke taking a profit. Sometimes, with the big ones, you don't need the big ones. Go get the single and keep the offense moving. I think Dak is smart enough and been in this league long enough to understand that. And, I also got to bring up, where's the elite defense? The Dallas Cowboys were up 27-10, 17-point lead. If you claim to have one of the best defenses in the league, you can't let that type of comeback happen. So as much as we talk about Dak Prescott and his interceptions, the defense, this vaunted defense, has to come through as well.
Listen, I remember it was a time that some analysts said on their show and said, listen, Jalen Hurts has passed Dak Prescott. Oh, the vitriol, the arrows, the stares like you're giving me now. That's what I got, right? But all of a sudden, Dak is struggling, and 8 of his 11 turnovers has been in their own minus territory, which sets up that great defense not to look so great. listen, the pressure is on. And Dak Prescott, because he's losing his ability to be able to run and extend plays, because I believe because of the injuries are starting to catch up.
And to Backpart's point, Dak has 11 picks this season, but Dallas has won 7 straight at home. You want more NFL talk? Well, tune in to Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max this morning, ESPN Radio, ESPN2, ESPNU. Freddie Coleman and Courtney Cronin are in the seat today, joined by Rob Ninkovich at 6:45 Eastern. Sam Acho follows at 7:30. Joe Fortenbaugh, host of Joe and Amber, right here on ESPN Radio at 8:10. And PJ Carlesimo, ESPN NBA radio analyst, joins the show at 9:30 Eastern. This is SportsCenter All Night on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. I'm Jim Basquill. From baseball, Trevor Bauer has been reinstated by Major League Baseball's independent arbiter, allowing the pitcher to resume his career at the start of the 2023 season. The Los Angeles Dodgers pitcher was given a 2-season suspension without pay by Baseball Commissioner Rob Manfred on April 29th. The suspension for violating the league's domestic violence and sexual assault policy after a San Diego woman said Bauer beat and sexually abused her last year, to which Bauer denied the accusation. The arbiter upheld a 194-game suspension, but reinstated Bauer immediately. The suspension will cost him more than $37 million in salary. ESPN MLB writer Alden Gonzalez here on ESPN Radio with details on where this is and where it will go, and if the Dodgers move on.
Yeah, like you said, it's been a year and a half that I've been covering this. Major League Baseball suspended him for 324 games in late April. That's the equivalent of 2 seasons. The longest suspension, it was double the previous long suspension under the domestic violence policy. Trevor Bauer was facing sexual assault charges from at least 3 different women. And Trevor Bauer became the first player ever to appeal a suspension under the policy. So that triggered a grievance process that began in late May. And finally, today, an independent arbitrator announced his ruling. His ruling was that his suspension would be cut from 324 games to 194. But he also ruled that Trevor Bauer would be eligible to pitch effective immediately. So basically, he's already served 144 games of that suspension. He's going to be docked pay for the remaining 50 this coming season, but he is going to be allowed to pitch. The sense throughout the industry is that they're going to release him. That's been the thought for a long time. They haven't commented publicly on this. They're not allowed to. I was somewhat surprised that they didn't announce that they had released him today. But to be fair, they just found out about this like everybody else did. They were not involved in the process. This was a process that played out between MLB, the MLBPA, and that independent arbiter. And under the collective bargaining agreement, MLB is not supposed to reveal the results of its investigation into Trevor Bauer to the Dodgers. They rule a suspension, and then after that suspension is over, the team decides whether or not to roster him.
Yeah, we'll see if a team takes a chance on Bauer. Coming up, we go bowling with the Armed Forces Bowl, which fittingly includes Air Force. Then we get you set for our Christmas doubleheader from the NBA and hear from John why he's so confident in his Grizz. That's next. This is SportsCenter All Night on ESPN Radio.
This is Keyshawn Johnson from Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. Wishing you a happy holiday season from all of us here at ESPN Radio.
This is SportsCenter All Night.
Hi, Sarah. I'm sorry I'm late. The traffic is crazy.
Yeah, it is. And it doesn't help that gas prices have skyrocketed. I can't believe how much it costs for gas now.
Everyone's talking about how much gas is, but I never pay full price for gas anymore. I just use the free Upside app, and I get cash back for every gallon of gas I buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid real cash when you buy gas with the Upside app?
Yeah, real cash every time I buy gas.
What? That sounds like it could really add up.
I've made around $200 already.
Wow, that's serious extra money. I'm downloading the free Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code TANK99 for an extra 25 cents per gallon cash back in your first fill up. You can cash out anytime right to your bank account, to PayPal, or an e-gift card. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code TANK99 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus in your first tank. That's code TANK99 for 25 cents per gallon cash back in your first fill up. Cash back's not available in gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Mornings with DiPietro and Rothenberg.
Buster Olney. Carlos Correa is a Met.
Steve Cohen has approved his owners. Some of the other owners want to hear, when you build your holiday ornaments, you're not going to fill your house with all lights that cover every side. And Steve Cohen goes, I don't care if I offend my neighbors. I want to have the brightest and the shiniest in our neighborhood.
DiPietro and Rothenberg. Weekday mornings from 5 to 8 a.m. on 98.7 ESPN.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-511-3535. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems. And if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider, 800-511-3535. That's 800-511-3535. For $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with, call Big Lou at 800-511-3535.
On behalf of Vivid Seats, let's get one thing clear. There are sports fans, and then there are real sports fans. I'm talking about the know every player, every play, every score, and every game sports fan. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN, believes real fans deserve a ticketing platform that not only makes it easy to find great deals on great tickets, but also gives valuable rewards all season long. Like a free 11th ticket for every 10 you buy, or a 100% buyer guarantee that your ticket will be as legit as your love for the game. It's about time there's a ticketing app that supported you as much as you support your favorite team. And now, it's here. Download the app or visit vividseats.com now to find great deals on the tickets you want, all while earning the rewards you deserve. Get $10 off your first $100 Vivid Seats purchase with code RADIO. That's RADIO. Make up for lost time and get to the game. See vividseats.com/rewards for rewards program terms and conditions.
With other lenders, it can feel like they're calling the wrong plays. Not Cross Country Mortgage. They're the masterminds behind perfect play calling. Go with them and your home loan experience will end in a victory parade in your new neighborhood. You're the perfect free agent to sign with the best loan originators in the game. And Cross Country Mortgage is dedicated to getting it done. Reach out today at ccm.com. That's ccm.com.
Equal housing opportunity. All loans subject to underwriting approval. Cross Country Mortgage LLC. NMLS 3029. NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
The biggest names, the biggest games. They're all right here. This is 1050 ESPN, New York. This is SportsCenter all night on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app. Here's Jim Basquiat.
Hey, be part of the SportsCenter All Night Nation on the Dr. Pepper call-in line. Call us at 888-SAY-ESPN. That's 888-729-3776. ESPN Nation presented by Dr. Pepper. It ain't football season without the delicious taste of an ice-cold Dr. Pepper, the one fans deserve. We're back on SportsCenter All Night with the Armed Forces Bowl.
First down. Daniels, play action. Rolls to the right. Still with it. Throws, end zone, touchdown, Air Force. Caleb Rillos in the end zone. A year ago, he had one catch the whole season against Louisville in the bowl game. That's his second catch this year.
That's Jim Arthur from Learfield. Zeke Daniels ran for a score, threw for another, and Air Force's 30-15 win over Baylor in that Armed Forces Bowl. The game kicked off with a temperature at 13 degrees, a wind chill -4 in Waco. Baylor officials announced it was the coldest kickoff temperature in the history of the program. Brad Roberts ran for 2 scores and also 116 on the ground. His school record 20th career game with triple-digit rushing yardage. His coach, Troy Calhoun, with our Lauren Sisler.
Coach, you come out with a win, 30-15, your third 10-win season in a row. How proud are you of this football team and the Service Academy?
We may not see it happen again. I mean, to be real, for that to occur. I mean, just, you look at this senior class to do that in 3 different seasons. And, It's an anomaly. I think we recognize that too.
How did you see your team respond to this cold weather, these cold conditions, and just to come out here and continue to fight?
The cold might be putting it mildly. I don't think we've ever experienced anything like this, but you know what? It's not warm. It's not easy. It never is at the United States Air Force Academy. But these guys, just the heart and the guts and the fight. Extraordinary young people. I'm glad they're fighting for our country.
And one of those standing behind you, Brad Roberts, your quarterback, Zeke Daniels. What can you say about those young men?
I can say a bunch. Both these guys, they've done an incredible job. Just want them to graduate from the Air Force Academy and do incredible things well beyond football, too.
Yeah, that's well said. Hey, tune into an NBA doubleheader. Christmas Day Sundays. The Celtics host the Bucks, followed by the Grizzlies at the Warriors. Coverage begins at 4:30 Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. You may have missed Ja's comments on the Grizz being second to none in the West, as he told our Malika Andrews.
Who do you look at around the league as you're studying and say, we're going to have to run through them?
Celtics.
No one in the West?
Nah. I'm fine in the West.
Might that create bulletin board material for Memphis's West rivals? How about reaction to Ja's bravado? PTI's Michael Wilbon.
It may not be smart, but I don't think it's particularly harmful. He's just saying he's not really worried about him. And I understand that. Look, I from where we sit now, and who I'm rooting for. I'm rooting for the Phoenix Suns to be in the conference finals. But I look at it and I'm thinking, all right, we don't even know what their roster is going to look like given Ayton's situation and what they think of him and what he's getting along with the other teammates. I'm looking at a New Orleans-Memphis Western Conference final. So Ja would be right there. Now, basically, you got Denver, Phoenix, New Orleans. It doesn't look like Golden State's going to be there at that point in the big action. And the Clippers, but that's a big if we concede with Kawhi and Paul George and whether they're healthy. But you're confining your universe to that. And I think Ja is a candidate for MVP, doesn't get mentioned often enough.
Yeah, so that's the West. The East has the C's and Bucks starting our Christmas doubleheader. Those two teams currently separated by just a half game atop that Eastern Conference. Shanae Gomakwe on ESPN Sports Center on this Christmas Day tip.
I'm really excited about this Bucks-Celtics matchup because we've got two of the best in the NBA. If you think about the Bucks, right now they have the best record. The Celtics have the second best record. And they're almost like have completely flip-flop strengths. If you think about the Bucks, their strength is defense. They're third in defensive rating. If you think about the Celtics, their strength is offense. They're second in offensive rating. And then you think about their stars. Giannis Antetokounmpo, my goodness, he does his damage in the paint. 31 and 11. Now Tatum does his damage from the perimeter. He gives you 30 points per game as a Celtic as well. So conflicting strengths, but nonetheless, there's a convergence of superstars and greatness that will be on full display on Christmas Day.
Yeah, things are getting tight in the East. The Cavs right there, game off the pace, followed by the Nets, who are 2 games back. They've won 7 straight. They have 20 wins. Is it real, Nick Friedel?
They're better than they were a few weeks ago, guys, but come on now. Look at that schedule, that Brooklyn schedule, and look at the teams they faced, and look at some of the players who have not been playing on some of the good teams that they've actually seen. The Nets are a team that has gone through a lot of different drama, and it's been a soap opera throughout the season. They've done a nice job, and Jacques Vaughn deserves credit for righting the ship and getting everybody pulling in the right direction right now. But I am not buying that this stretch that the Nets are in shows you that, hey, they've turned it all around, and we can start talking about them as a team near the top of the East. They have taken full advantage of a pretty weak schedule, and they have ridden Kevin Durant's coattail.
So he's still not buying it. And PJ Carlissimo, the ESPN NBA radio analyst, joining Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max this morning here on ESPN Radio, which is hosted by Freddie Coleman and Courtney Cronin. He joins the show at 9:30 Eastern.
Sohan, left corner pass to Jones. Shot clock at 3. He's underneath the hoop. Shot clock at 1. He ain't going to get it off. He got stripped by McCollum anyway. 2-on-1 break. CJ, stop, pop, left wing 3. He's got
40.
As heard on ESPN New Orleans, CJ McCollum, a season-high 40. Pels beat the Spurs 126-117, ending a 4-game slide. They won without Zion Williamson. He was in the league's health and safety protocols. They made 13 three-pointers, 7 from CJ.
Around the lane, throws it up top, stolen by Beasley. Bradley Beal takes a seat by the standard on the other side as the Jazz are on a fast break, and Beasley scores.
That's 97-5. The zone, Malik Beasley, 25. It's the Jazz past the Wizards, 120-112. Wizards lost for the 14th time in their last 16 games. Coming up, the Jets and Jags kick off Week 16 in the NFL, offering two teams headed in opposite directions. And what is Lamar Jackson's future in Baltimore? We explore details up next. This is SportsCenter All Night on ESPN Radio.
Greeny. Everything is part of the problem in Tampa, including him. He's not the worst player on their team, but he's no longer the best either. And I don't know who is because they're so bad. They're unwatchable.
Weekday mornings at 10 Eastern on ESPN Radio.
Anyone who has ever needed self-storage knows what a hassle it can be. You have to rent or borrow a truck and then find someone to help you move your stuff. And let's face it, moving furniture and heavy items without damaging them isn't easy. Renting the unit is worse. The hidden fees and admin costs are scarier than the dingy facilities you're leaving your stuff in. Why not use ClosetBox instead? ClosetBox is self-storage without leaving home. They'll pick up your belongings, store them securely, and bring any item back when you need it. The best part? Unlike traditional self-storage, you only pay for what you store. No paying for unused storage space. ClosetBox's background check storage movers are licensed, bonded, and insured and will take care of all of the heavy lifting. ClosetBox's local storage centers are temperature controlled and monitored 24/7. ClosetBox has an A+ rating from the BBB. Call 877-233-5696 now for the season's best rates. Get $50 off first month storage using code RADIO50. That's 877-233-5696. 877-233-5696.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max.
Here's what I would say. Whether Mike White comes back and plays on Thursday or not, or whether Mike White plays at all again this year, Zach Wilson will be in a competition next spring into the summer. If it's Mike White or Baker Mayfield or whoever that's available, he won't walk into training camp as a clear-cut #1 quarterback like he did when they drafted him.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. Weekday mornings at 8 a.m. on 98.7 ESPN.
Do you want to gain stability, benefits, and experience? As a youth development specialist with the City of New York, you can build a solid civil service career working with NYC's youth. Start with a base salary of over $47,000, and in 5 years, you could earn over $62,000. Apply today at nyc.gov/YDS for benefits, paid overtime, and even a $5,000 bonus in 6 months. You can change your life while making a difference in theirs. Become a youth development specialist today. Learn more at nyc.gov/YDS.
You wash your hands, you brush your teeth, but what about the nose? How do you clean your nose? With Navage. Navage uses powered suction to pull saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril, flushing out allergens, mucus, and germs. And it's why cleaning your nose, the body's air filter, is the next evolution in daily personal hygiene. People try Navage for lots of reasons: sinusitis, colds, allergies, snoring, things that make it hard to breathe through your nose. But over time, they find that cleaning their nose makes them feel better, a lot better. Over 3 million Navage users have written more than 100,000 reviews, averaging 4.7 stars, saying, "Best product I've ever used," and "Amazing, I love my Navage." Navage helps you breathe better, sleep deeper, and snore less, but the biggest payoff is improved health. Navage is good personal hygiene and can help you stay healthier. At Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, and online. Navage, Navage, clean nose, healthy life.
CSX, a growing Fortune 500 logistics company, has immediate openings for freight train conductors. If you're looking for a rewarding career offering paid training at nearly $25 per hour, competitive benefits, and you share a passion for great service, apply today at csx.com/careers. That's csx.com/careers. CSX, committed to supporting military and veteran families and their communities. CSX is an equal opportunity employer.
Every victory over cancer is worth celebrating. We celebrate every life saved by donating to Save Another.
It may not save my life. It may save someone you love.
Because of all the donations, mine is one of the lives that's been saved.
Life is worth celebrating. That's why ESPN and the V Foundation will never give up. Please give. Learn more at v.org.
The all-new Weekend Wager comes to 98.7 ESPN on Friday nights at 10 p.m. It's presented by BetMGM Sports. Don't be left out of the action. This is SportsCenter all night on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app. Here's Jim Basketball.
And ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. It's Progressive, the 10th Keys to Progress giveaway for veterans. This year, their goal is to gift a vehicle to a recipient, small business, or nonprofit in every state. See more about their annual giveaway at keystoprogress.com.
Half-hour headlines on SportsCenter all night.
Again, our top stories, Week 16 in the NFL kicks off with the Jags and Jets. Trevor Bauer will be able to pitch in the Bigs next season, but will he? Air Force grounds out a win at the Armed Forces Bowl, and no Zion, no problem, as the Pels get 40 from C.J. McCollum in besting the Spurs.
Trevor's going to be under center here. Here we go. From the half-yard line. ETN, the running back. Quarterback sneak dives for the end zone. Touchdown! He dove over the top. Then Trevor Lawrence. Touchdown, Jaguars.
Yeah, that's heard from 1010 XL 92.5 FM. Trevor Lawrence ran for a touchdown. The Jaguars continue their push towards the second season, their third straight win. 19-3 over the Jets and Zach Wilson. Lawrence threw for 229, ran for 51 yards, and that score, which capped the 96-yard drive. The Jacksonville quarterback postgame.
The turnover early obviously put our defense in a tough spot. They got the stop for us, and then to be able, I don't know if it was the next drive or maybe the one after that, but to be able to put a drive together like that, obviously in a game like this, eat a lot of the clock, have a methodical drive and then end in points, a touchdown, that's huge. And then you kind of put them in a position to where you go up by a couple scores, then they feel like they have to throw the ball more. The elements aren't great. You can you get the ball back quicker and quicker. And so it was big just to answer and to respond and to have a drive like that. And that defense is really good. I don't know how many points they give up per game, but it's really, really low. And I know they're a top 5 defense. So they played really well. That's also part of it, the elements, but also that's a really good defense. So I was proud of the guys for executing the game plan and doing what we had to do to win.
Yeah, Lawrence leads the NFL in passer rating since week 9. His coach, Doug Peterson, 7-0 career on Thursday Night Football. Jacksonville has won 5 of the past 7 since starting 2-6 and control their AFC South destiny. As a matter of fact, Tyler Fulgham is buying the Jags as ultimate AFC South champs. He was on Canty and Carlin.
I have so much respect for Mike Vrabel and what he does to get the most out of his team, but the Titans are a wreck right now in terms of injuries. Not just Ryan Tannehill. That, of course, is most important. But on the defensive side, they've lost pretty much their entire back end and one of the best all-around linebackers in the NFL in David Long Jr. So I think this Titan team is going to struggle down the stretch. And if and when they go to Jacksonville in Week 18 with the division on the line, I like the Jaguars and Trevor Lawrence to pull out that dub in Duval County and clinch a playoff spot as the AFC South champions. I have been on the Jags since week 3. I said on Daily Wager yesterday when the price was plus 110, they're now odds on favorite before the Ryan Tannehill news is made official that you should be backing the Jaguars. I still think you can do that, although the price is not as advantageous or profitable as it once was. But man, I think this is the Jags division to lose.
It looks like that as they got it rolling along. Meantime, Zach Wilson was booed before he was benched in the third quarter. New York has lost 4 straight and starting 7-4. His coach, Robert Saleh, on why the young quarterback continues to struggle.
There's a lot of things. One, couldn't get the run game going again. Protection wasn't as good as we wanted it to be. Obviously, there was a couple of missed throws. It was collective coaching all the way down.
Bill Barnwell on SportsCenter with SVP on where the Jets go from here regarding that QB position in the near future.
I think at this point, you cannot approach your future as if Zach Wilson is a guarantee.
pretty much every first-round pick these days, you get 3 years to kind of show what you can do. Josh Rosen may be the exception, but even Sam Darnold got 3 years, and then the Jets said, hey, we're going to go in a different direction. I don't think you can do that because this is a championship caliber defense, got one of the best in football since week 4. So I don't think you can go forward with Zach Wilson because you're going to lose not just games, you're going to lose the locker room because the players in there know the guy who's playing quarterback does not have it right now.
Yeah, Bart Scott says the team has done enough. The patience should be done with.
They went out and moved up and got Vera Tucker to protect them. They drafted Mekhi Becton to protect them. In the offseason this year, they went out and got a Pro Bowler in Langston Tomlinson. They drafted Breece Hall, who was on his way to being the offensive rookie of the year. They did that for him. They made sure in first round that they got him a number one weapon in Garrett Wilson, who probably is going to be the offensive rookie of the year. He has 2 rookie of the year candidates on his roster right now. And then what happened when Breece Hall got hurt? They was aggressive and went out and got James Robinson from the Jaguars, who played at a high level, a Pro Bowl caliber guy. They have done everything that they can do for him.
You heard Tyler Frozen talk about the Titans. Well, Tennessee rookie Malik Willis will start his 3rd NFL game Saturday against the Texans, with the veteran Ryan Tannehill ruled out with that injured right ankle. The Titans at 7-7 still sit atop the AFC South, looking for their 3rd straight division title, yet their once 4-game lead is down to 1 with 3 games to go. Does no Tannehill last beyond this week, Adam Schefter?
Already ruled out of this weekend's game against the Houston Texans. It's got that ankle injury, and it looks like it could very well be a multi-week absence. Now, if he were to have surgery, the hope would be that he would come back at some point this season. But the Titans, with Ryan Tannehill hobble with the ankle injury that had him carted off the field last week when they played the Chargers, are now going to have to lean on their rookie quarterback, Malik Willis, to find a way to keep alive their playoff hopes, as Ryan Tannehill essentially is not going to play this weekend, and they don't know when he's going to be able to play again during the regular season.
Again, it's the Eagles and Cowboys from Big D. Philly clinches the top seed in the NFC with a win, seeking a franchise record 14th W this season. It's Gardner Minshew, though, under center for Jalen Hurts, and he's raring to go.
I'm excited to get out there, unfortunate circumstances, obviously, it's been great watching everything Jalen's been doing this year. I feel like I've learned a lot from him. We got a lot of great dudes on this team, and they've really done a good job of making me feel comfortable and, getting me up to speed. And the coaches have done nothing but show confidence in me. And, it's my job to go do what I can and help the team win.
Yeah, keep this in mind. Something has to give, right? Philly's won 9 straight on the road. Dallas has won 7 straight at home. Dak Prescott didn't play in that Week 6 loss at the Eagles. He is 6-1. In his past 7 starts against Philadelphia. Willie Colon on KJ Maxx on this being mammoth for Dallas.
I think Dak is resilient, man. You're talking about a guy who broke his thumb, missed some games this year, came back. You're talking about the Cowboys being 10-4, number 1 seed. They've already clinched the playoff spot. For Dak, you just got to stay out of his way. Just keep letting him. His confidence, I think his moxie is what makes him him, especially playing for the Dallas Cowboys. I don't think you get in his way. Obviously, with a bad turnover at the end of the game against Jacksonville. But overall, you got to respect the fact that he's giving you everything he's got. This offense is prolific because of Dak Prescott, because of Zeke, because of some of the weapons they have. Their offensive line has gotten healthy. So I don't think you make too much of it. I think you understand that the team is in a great position right now. It's going to be a statement game on Christmas Eve in Dallas. Eagles, Cowboys, what else do you want? It's going to be big time. And a lot is going to be made of what Dak can do and what he looks like. But it's all or nothing when he gets to playoff time. Now that you got a place at the table, what do you do? Because last year, losing to the Niners was a big disappointment. I know it's riding on his conscience.
How about the Falcons and Ravens? Baltimore 1 game back of the Bengals for the top of the AFC North. NFL low, under 10 points a game at 9.7 since week 13. That's what the Ravens are scoring when Lamar Jackson suffered his knee injuries to the offense, ailing without him. He's nursing that knee, a pending free agent. How about the future with this team? Uncertain. Marcus Spears and Dan Orlovsky on that subject.
I think this is the biggest 6-week stretch of Lamar's career for both him individually and his football team. Imagine this 2-year window that started last season. Young quarterback, MVP, superstar player, cheap. Let's go win ourselves a Super Bowl. Last year starts off so well, and then the deterioration of the talent around him. His play starts so high, and then he struggles a little bit at the end. We go into this season, bona fide Super Bowl contenders, MVP type of performance, and then the talent around him starts to deteriorate injury-wise, and so does he. This is the 7th game missed in 22 games. Let me be very clear. Lamar is an absolute superstar, and any team in the NFL should be and would be fortunate to have him. And I think with everything that's going on, it will be a fascinating situation to pay attention to see what happens for the rest of the season and for them, hopefully into the postseason.
All running quarterbacks suffer an injury. All of them usually get banged up throughout the course of a season. And obviously it's something that you have to pay attention to, and it's something that franchises might try to use. But I think this is, look, we talked about this. Lamar Jackson's situation at the quarterback spot in Baltimore is not only complicated, but it's unique because he's responsible for the success of the offense. Lamar Jackson should ask the Baltimore Ravens, what are you going to do? I know I need to get my check, and you will give me my check based on what you've done around here for the last 5 years. So, yeah, I think he should have more questions about the damn Baltimore Ravens than the Ravens have about Lamar Jackson.
Man, Lions, meantime, are like the Jags of the NFC. They're also coming off a win over the Jets. They come in a half game back of the Commanders for the final NFC playoff spot. Washington at the San Francisco 49ers. Brock Purdy can be the first quarterback in San Francisco history to start his career 3-0. Christian McCaffrey, terrific, 818 scrimmage yards, 7 touchdowns during their 7-game winning streak. Washington, that half-game lead on the Seahawks and Lions for that final spot, but they get Chase Young back. Maybe not every play, Coach Ron Rivera.
A lot of positive things, and it's now. I mean, he felt really good this week. He practiced with confidence. He showed us his willingness to stick that leg in the ground and roll off of it, plant it and cut off of it. So he had a good week. So we're pretty excited about that. We're going to have him on a pitch count initially, and who knows? I mean, but again, it's going to be a few here, a few here, a few here, and just kind of take him through the actions and see how he handles it. But we're going out there with an initial pitch count.
Yeah, the Bucs, meantime, are a division leader at a sub-500 record, 6-8 this season. Next loss clinches the first losing season of Tom Brady's career.
We're 15, 16 weeks into the season, including the bye, and the whole season comes down to 3 really important games, and this is the first of the 3, and we're going to go battle our ass off to try to make it happen. We can't do anything about the past. We're beyond what we wish we could have been, or I think we're at where we're at. Yeah, we wish we won every game. I certainly do, but we haven't earned it. So if you don't earn it, then what do you expect? I think we got to try to go earn it this week. Our whole season's ahead of us. We've all worked hard to get to this point. But again, we got to go out there and we got to earn it because this team's certainly not going to, just give it to us.
Yeah, plenty of NFL talk. Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max this morning. ESPN Radio, ESPN2, ESPNU. Freddie Coleman, Courtney Cronin in the seat. Rob Ninkovich joins the show at 6:45 Eastern, followed by Sam Acho at 7:30 Eastern. Those two are staples. Joe Fortenbaugh, Joe and Amber co-host at 8:10 Eastern. It's the Bengals and Patriots. Cincinnati comes into this one having won 6 straight games since week 8. Joe Burrow 5-0. With a passer rating of just under 120 in the 5 coldest games of his NFL career. His wideout, Jamar Chase, joined KJ Maxx on how the culture has changed with the Super Bowl runner-ups. This is his take on how that happened.
I just think we just needed to build. We had built a program here. Everyone's here has put in to win. Mm-hmm. And, you can feel the atmosphere here. And I think that's the biggest change and decision that, that has been done here.
Meantime, the NFL's announced a multi-year agreement with Google for the NFL Sunday Ticket. The package of out-of-market afternoon games on Sunday will be distributed on YouTube TV and YouTube Prime Time channels. Meantime, news from the Sports Center All Night Nation. You want some? Hit us up on the Dr. Pepper call-in line at 888-SAY-ESPN. That's 888-729-3776. Coming up, we size up the Buckeyes and Dogs for the college football semifinal clash and have the night in college hoops and the night's top sounds. That's next. This is Sports Center All Night on ESPN Radio.
Hi, this is Max Kellerman from Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. All of us here at ESPN Radio would like to wish you happy holidays and a happy new year.
More Sports Center All Night next.
You can't miss a moment with Greeny.
My take was not a referendum on whether Zach Wilson is good or not. He's bad. I mean, he is scarily bad. Part of the issue is the people developing him have not done a good job. Most of the blame goes on him. The kid is regressing at warp speed, and I don't think they do things that play to his strengths. There are questions. I just don't think they are limited to the quarterback.
Greeny, weekday mornings at 10 a.m. on 98.7 ESPN.
Hey, it's Michael K. I love when I get to talk about our friends at PC Richard & Son. This has been my go-to store for years now. It's a local company, family-owned, and they truly care about their customers. And PC Richard & Son has all the holiday gifts on your list. Whether you watch it, stream on it, work on it, play on it, or listen to it, PC Richard & Son has it. TVs, computers, home office, smart home products for Google and Alexa, Bluetooth speakers, soundbars, headphones, Yeti. They all make great gifts that everyone loves. So get gifting at PC Richard & Son. Shop safe. Shop local.
If you have ever thought about remodeling your bathroom but were worried it would take too long or cost too much, then stop worrying. Right now, Jacuzzi Bath Remodel has designed a collection of high-quality custom products and perfected the one-day remodeling experience so you can enjoy your new bathroom faster than ever before. It's a worry-free bath remodel from the most trusted brand name in the business, Jacuzzi. A Jacuzzi bath system fits in your existing tub space. It's a no-mess installation with an amazing style selection, factory-certified installers, and a limited lifetime warranty. Call 800-717-4599. That's 800-717-4599 right now and get 50% off installation with no interest and no payments for 12 months. Replace that old bathtub today with a walk-in shower for a safer bathing experience. If you have lived in your home for over 15 years, it's time to remodel your bathroom. For a virtual or in-home appointment, call 800-717-4599. That's 800-717-4599. 800-717-4599. This is an important notice to consumers facing $10,000 or more in credit card debt, medical bills, or other unsecured debt. You may not be required to pay it all back because there are special programs now in effect that will significantly reduce the amount you will owe if you qualify. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. These programs, which the credit card companies like to keep secret, exist to aid American consumers struggling with overwhelming credit card debt by offering tremendous savings and real debt relief. Accredited Debt Relief has established a special hotline for you to call and learn what savings you qualify for. They've helped qualify consumers with over $1 billion in debt and are A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. So don't wait. Get the relief you need during these hard economic times. For this free information, call the Accredited Debt Relief Hotline now. Call 800-842-1313. 800-842-1313. That's 800-842-1313.
Don't miss the #1 rated afternoon drive show in New York. It's the Michael K. Show. And it's every weekday at 2:55 on 98.7 ESPN.
This is SportsCenter all night on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app. Here's Jim Basquil.
Hey, the college football playoff is on ESPN Radio. First, the Verbo Fiesta Bowl. Third-ranked TCU faces number 2 Michigan. Then it's the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. It's fourth-ranked Ohio State against top-ranked Georgia. It's all presented by Dr. Pepper. Coverage begins New Year's Eve at 3 Eastern right here on ESPN Radio and on ESPN. Trevor Matich on that Dogs-Buckeyes kickoff.
As Ohio State's offense watches tape of the SEC championship game in their meeting room, they will see that LSU's passing attack torched the Georgia secondary for over 500 yards through the air. And the Buckeyes will be thinking, if they can do it, we can do it better. Now, part of the problem for the Bulldogs in the SEC championship game was that too often they lost sight of where the ball was. Now, they know that this should be a corner route. The ball's supposed to go out there, but Kelee Ringo, the corner, being the NFL next year, he doesn't see the ball. So it's thrown short. It's a bad pass, and Ringo just continues on to where he thinks it's supposed to go because he doesn't see it. Well, for the Buckeyes, it doesn't matter whether or not you see the ball. They are so skilled, even under pressure, that they'll drop it where you can't get it, even if you see it the entire time. So you better at least know where that ball is to make them be this precise. Now, another problem for the Bulldogs in the SEC championship game was on the scramble drill. Here, they don't lose sight of the ball. They lose sight of the receiver. One of these two guys needs to cover the receiver as the scramble drill unfolds. Neither one of them does, and it's an easy touchdown. Well, the Buckeye scramble drill is not just schoolyard playground football. It is highly rehearsed and very precise. When C.J. Stroud's under pressure and takes off, this receiver will duck just over the goal line. The next guy will give him some space, gets behind him. The guy way over there sees those two guys up front. He goes to the back to create even more space. That's three receivers in line of sight of their scrambling quarterback, who now has three choices. He can go over the top, he can rifle it in short. Instead, he takes door number 3 and hits the guy in the middle. Now, Georgia's defense is better than this. This, they will think, is a complete anomaly, but they better be ready for the Buckeyes because they will make the Bulldogs prove.
That's the Dogs D against the Buckeyes offense, right? News from the Sports Center All Night Nation. You just hit us up on the Dr. Pepper call line at 888-SAY-ESPN. That's 888-729-3776.
Long rebound, tracked down by Wilson. 3-on-1. Harris back to Jalen. Right-hand runner misses, gets his own rebound. Right back up and in. He sticks with it, and KU goes up a dozen, their biggest lead.
That's Brian Haney from Learfield. Jalen Wilson scored 21. Number 4 Kansas beat Harvard 68-54, keeping the Jayhawks unbeaten at home despite going 4 of 20 from beyond the arc. 5th-ranked Arizona closed out their non-conference schedule, overpowering Morgan State 93-68. They had 25 assists on 34 field goals, extending the nation's third-longest home active winning streak to 27 games. And Kobe Brown scored a career-high 31 with 8 assists to lead Missouri over 16th-ranked Illinois 93-71. The night's top sounds include a big night from C.J. McCollum for the Pels, an OT win for the Caps, and Trevor Lawrence finding the end zone for the Jags. Mark Robbins has the details.
Number 5.
Hello there, Jim. Why don't we get things jumping with the opening series of that Jets-Jags game on Thursday? And the one shining moment for New York in this matchup. On 97.5 ESPN New York.
Jets show blitz, now back off. They rush 4. Lawrence back to throw. Looks right. Under pressure. Here he goes down. The ball pops out. It's loose. The Jets may have it. Just like that, the Jets may have that takeaway they have been thirsting for. And who is in the backfield but Quinn Williams to knock it out? And the Jets recover the fumble.
Number 4.
Play number 2, the lone touchdown in this game from 1010XL 92.5 in Jacksonville.
Trevor's going to be under center here. Here we go. From the half-yard line. ETN, the running back. Quarterback sneak dives for the end zone. Touchdown. He dove over the top. Then Trevor Lawrence. Touchdown, Jaguars.
Number 3.
Now we check out the Lockheed Martin Armed Forces Bowl and fittingly Air Force finding success. Here's the call from Jim Arthur of Learfield.
First down. Daniels, play action. Rolls to the right. Still with it. Throws end zone. Touchdown, Air Force. Caleb Rillos in the end zone. A year ago, he had one catch the whole season against Louisville in the bowl game. That's his second catch this year.
Number 2.
On the ice, the Capitals' Alex Ovechkin still stuck on 800 career goals, but his teammate Marcus Johansson crept closer to him on the Capitals radio network.
3 minutes left. Here's Marcus Johansson. He scores! MJ90 with the game-winning goal in overtime. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, Ottawa. The Capitals with a 3-2 overtime thriller against the Ottawa Senators.
Number 1.
And finally, no Zion, no Brandon Ingram, no problem for C.J. McCollum and New Orleans on ESPN New Orleans.
Sohan, left corner pass to Jones. Shot clock at 3. He's underneath the hoop. Shot clock at 1. He ain't going to get it off. He got stripped by McCollum anyway. 2-on-1 break. CJ, stop, pop, left wing 3. He's got 40.
Yeah, big night without Zion. Night on ice included another milestone for Alexander the Great. Alex Ovechkin, now the NHL's all-time leader in shots on goal. In the third period, he unloaded number 6,210, topping the total of Hockey Hall of Famer Ray Bourque. As Mark told you, he's at 800 goals, one shy of Gordie Howe for second all-time. But as he also told you, Marcus Johansson scored the game winner in OT, catch 3-2 by the Sens.
Knocked down, held in, however, by the Bruins. Left point, Foligno.
Popped it into the far corner. Coyle with a stick lift far side. Into the slot. Foligno shoots. He scores! What a play by Charlie Coyle. And then send it into the slot. Right on a tee. Foligno buries one. Bruins 3, Jets 2.
That's Jack Edwards, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Nick Foligno broke a tie midway through the third. NHL leading Boston rallied to beat Winnipeg 3-2. They improved to 26-4-2. How about this? All points in all 20 games this season at home, 18-0-2.
Brent Burns looking for .800 for the career. He has it right now. Sidney Cross. Sidney real quick. They score! 23 seconds in. It's all over. The Canes defense do it again in overtime. This time, Jacob Slavin from Brent Burns, point number 800. And for Carolina, win number 7 in a row.
99.9 The Fan, 23 ticks into overtime, and that's your game winner. Carolina passed Pittsburgh 4-3 for their 7th straight. William Nylander scored his 20th. Toronto by Philadelphia 4-3, and Capo Caco, your game winner with just under 3 to go. Rangers rally past the Isles 5-3. Freddie Coleman and Courtney Cronin in the seat. Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max this morning here on ESPN Radio. Rob Ninkovich headlines the guest list at 6:45 Eastern, followed by Sam Acho at 7:30. Joe Fortenbaugh, host of Joe and Amber at 8:10 Eastern. And PJ Carlissimo joins the show at 9:30 Eastern. Thanks for staying up all night. For producer Rachel Robinson and technical director Cam Ertry, I'm Jim Baswell. Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max is next.
Coming up next, Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max on ESPN Radio and ESPN2.
At Lowe's, every pro is an MVP to us. That's why MVP's Pro Rewards members can earn bonus points on select products and brands like Power Pro, Weehaw, and Valspar. Then redeem your bonus points for exciting rewards like tools, sports memorabilia, Lowe's e-gift cards, and more. Join Lowe's MVP's Pro Rewards today to start earning. Bonus points calculated before taxes and fees after applicable discounts, if any. Subject to program terms. While supplies last. Points expire at end of calendar year. Visit Lowe's.com/L/ProLoads for terms and details. Now through 1/8/23.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Starting trouble. No one likes that. We'll get you set up for some stronger starts. You might just need a fresh charge, and we'll take care of that free of charge. But if it is time for a new battery, we've got replacement batteries that'll fit your needs, starting at just $79.99. You can learn more about our battery selection at AutoZone.com. That's what makes us America's #1 battery destination.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Claim based on data from the NPD Group 2021.
The Michael K. Show is on.
Kayvon Thibodeau became the first Giant rookie with a fumble recovery for a touchdown and a sack in a game since sacks became an official stat in 1982. I can't believe it took to 1982 to figure out. Maybe we should make it a stat when the quarterback is tackled behind the line of scrimmage. You know, it's weird, right? It's such a big deal now. The sack is only 40 years old.
Don't miss the Michael K. Show. Weekdays at 3 on 98.7 ESPN.
Anyone who has ever needed self-storage knows what a hassle it can be. You have to rent or borrow a truck and then find someone to help you move your stuff. And let's face it, moving furniture and heavy items without damaging them isn't easy. Renting the unit is worse. The hidden fees and admin costs are scarier than the dingy facilities you're leaving your stuff in. Why not use Closet Box instead? Closet Box is self-storage without leaving home. They'll pick up your belongings, store them securely, and bring any item back when you need it. The best part? Unlike traditional self-storage, you only pay for what you store. No paying for unused storage space. Closet Box's background check storage movers are licensed, bonded, and insured and will take care of all of the heavy lifting. Closet Box's local storage centers are temperature controlled and monitored 24/7. Closet Box has an A+ rating from the BBB. Call 877-233-5696 now for the season's best rates. Get $50 off first month storage using code RADIO50. That's 877-233-5696. 877-233-5696.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control of your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problem now by calling the experts at U.S. Tax Shield and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws clause that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, so call now. 800-687-5192. That's 800-687-5192. U.S. Tax Shield. 800-687-5192.
So I switched to Boost Mobile and got this free Samsung Galaxy A23 5G phone.
Why do you think they call it the Galaxy?
Maybe because the Samsung Galaxy A23 has a huge screen, and galaxies are huge gravitationally bound systems of stars rotating around a supermassive black hole.
And the phone is free?
When you switch to Boost Mobile.
Cool. You lost me at gravitationally bound.
Switch to Boost and get a free Samsung Galaxy A23 5G phone. Boost Mobile. Unleash your power. Limited time offer while supplies last. New customers only. Excludes tax. One device offer per line. Only available on certain networks. 5G not available everywhere. Additional
1050 ESPN New York. The biggest names and the biggest games. WEPN New York. A Good Karma brand radio station.
I love Christmas. I had an idea that doing a Christmas album would be great. The problem is I can't sing, and that's when I went to Jordan and Lane and some actual musicians.
We'll start with White Christmas. I'm dreaming of Christmas. We got some great weather. Y'all gotta love it right here, baby. Christmas boy, give all you got for this team. Hit the bump part. Put a bow on it. Merry Christmas, everybody. Sleigh bells in the snow. Merry days, merry days, merry old days. Be merry and bright. No Christmas as we are.
Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Except you guys.
Even as a Cowboys fan, that will never get old for me. Welcome to the eve of the Christmas Eve Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max show with Courtney Cronin, Freddie Coleman, together presented by Progressive Insurance on ESPN Radio, the ESPN app, SiriusXM Channel 80, ESPN2, and ESPNU. Miss Courtney, happy Eve on the Christmas Eve to you and your family, by the way.
Happy Christmas Eve to you and yours as well, Freddie. I'm glad that we both are leaning into the Christmas mood this morning. You've got your Christmas shirt. I know yesterday you said you weren't going to do the hat, so I did it for you. Nope. Mine's like sitting around my headset.
The hat looks good, though.
My head looks a little like disproportional this morning, but that's fine. It's not any different than it normally looks. But the funny thing is, if you guys are in your cars or you're watching this morning and all of a sudden you hear, because my sweater has bells on it. And I'm going to try not to get heated in conversations about Zach Wilson this morning, where all of a sudden you start hearing sleigh bells coming and wondering if Santa's going to come into the picture frame of your TV or if it's going to end up being something else. But
Jingle bells, Courtney, all the way.
That's exactly what we're going with this morning.
Nothing wrong with that. By the way, our staff, when it comes to Pat, when it comes to James, when it comes to Alan, they got the Christmas hats on. Not surprised. I think right now, though, I think the leader of the clubhouse is the light up sweater that James has compared to the Jingle Bells thing you got going on, Courtney, with your sweater. I mean,
how do you wash that? Like, can that go in the washing machine, or is that dry clean only?
I mean, you don't.
Okay.
So, you don't wash that ever?
Wash that all? Yeah.
You put it away for the next 11 months?
Underneath it, so
that still doesn't answer the question.
No, I answered the question.
So you said you don't wash it?
You said you don't wash it.
Wow.
Very carefully.
You're going to be ripe by 10 o'clock, man. I feel sorry for that room.
I have a shirt on underneath. I always wear a shirt underneath. I don't. It's not skin on.
But still, at a certain point, it's got to be dry clean, don't you think? You can't just hang it up
I
after
only wear
that.
it once a year. Who cares?
Apparently, you don't.
You broke it out for the show. I mean, I appreciate that.
Yes,
leaning
I
into a
appreciate it
theme
too.
here this morning.
Also, I have two of them. The same one.
Okay, so you
Lisa ordered
because one isn't enough.
No, right. Lisa ordered one for. She's like, wasn't going to come.
Okay,
and she tried to order it again.
Right,
they both got there on the same day.
Okay, well that works for me. Yeah, put it this way: whether it's funky or not, you wear it well. As far as that goes. And speaking of funky, that comes to the New York Jets. Another disaster involving their quarterback Zach Wilson. It's not Courtney that they lost 19-3 to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Nobody's surprised about that.
Nobody's surprised that Zach Wilson did not play well because that's been the hallmark of his short NFL career after not even 2 years. The fact they had a quarterback that nobody knew about that played in the CFL and got more first downs in his first drive in the fourth quarter than Zach Wilson got throughout 3 quarters says a lot about what the Jets are going to have to think about in the offseason.
I was texting Freddie, guys, last night and Pat, like late at night, being like, does anybody know who Chris Streveler is? And it was no disrespect to the practice squad quarterback Zach Wilson was benched for, but I truly had no idea that this guy was part of the Jets organization on any form or fashion of a roster, but to know that this is somebody who was on the practice squad as of yesterday and then got called up and had no idea on Thursday morning that he would end up playing in an NFL game.
Yeah.
It just shows you where we're at right now with the Jets. They start 5-2, and right now they're 7-8. Another promising season lost, and I think, Freddie, it's fair to say this is the end of the Zach Wilson era with the New York Jets as we know it.
Yeah, you can't play that guy, not just the rest of this regular season. And it goes back to what I said, Courtney, about the question the Jets are going to have to answer. By the way, it is a KGM Christmas party. Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. Ebenezer, Freddie Coleman here along Courtney Cronin on ESPN Radio, the ESPN app, ESPN2, and ESPNU. Zach Wilson can say all he wants, and he did say very, very little, but a lot in this whole thing about why he has continued to struggle, including last night losing to Jacksonville by a count of 19-3.
Man, I don't know. I just felt like didn't have any rhythm out there. Just trying to find some confidence out there on the field and just find something to get us going, a little spark, and get anything there, man. And I had opportunities and I got to be able to connect on those. And, we're going to go back and watch it. And, I'm sure coaches will detail it up and stuff for us. But, right now the feeling is I just got to, put my head down and just try and get better, for these guys. And, that was kind of my message to them out there is, I'm trying to give them everything I got. I'm trying to lay it out there for you guys. And it's not good enough. And I got to put them in a better position.
When you start off a sentence, when somebody says, why are you struggling? And the first 4 words are, man, I don't know, that doesn't land well in any locker room because not only do the fans not want him out there, Courtney, you could even tell that the players, his own players are like, dude, this is not for you. And when you draft a guy that high and people had questions about him coming out of that draft anyway out of BYU, and he looks like this in year 2, according before the season started, I said, if we're having the same questions about Zach Wilson, then what are the Jets going to do about this in year 3? We're having those same questions about Zach Wilson from his rookie year involving this year, which means that in year 3, going into the offseason year 3, Courtney, the New York Jets have a lot to deal with and a lot to talk about because you have to keep him. You have to try to figure this out. It can't just be an easy answer to say, let's just cut him and be done with it. That's not an easy solution, no matter how bad he's been for the Jets lately.
Yeah, there's no way that they end up doing that. The way that this will play out, and I guess it's a good thing that now you have 2 more games against Seattle and Miami to end the season. They're not going to the playoffs. They can already start focusing on how do we salvage this? What is our plan at quarterback in 2023? So I imagine if Mike White's healthy enough to play, like if that rib injury is healed, he'll get the starting job back for the final 2 games of the season. And then during the offseason, whether they make a move or not, I doubt that they'll end up drafting somebody because they've got other needs and they're not going to have that high of a draft pick where they're going to be getting, one of the top quarterbacks of Bryce Young, of CJ Stroud. And they were already in that position 2 years ago. You cannot go back to the well on that, but you